What is going on, you guys? It is Justin back here with another video, and if you cannot tell, today we are going to be reviewing Late Night with the Devil. I have been waiting to see this movie for so long, and I finally got to see it, and let me tell you, this movie does not disappoint. Here's the synopsis. In 1977, a live television broadcast goes horribly wrong, unleashing evil into the nation's living rooms. So yeah, before starting off the review, I just want to say I'm going to give this movie, A Late Night with the Devil, a 10 out of 10. It met everything I wanted it to meet, and I loved how it gives you that late night 70s feel. So yeah, very, very awesome movie. If you have not seen it, I definitely do recommend it. So, we start off the show meeting Jack Delroy. He is a struggling late night host, trying to bring up the views on his channel because, that's what happens with all the late night people. They try to outbeat the other people. Then we get introduced to his co-host, Gus. Jack and Gus, obviously it's Halloween night, and they're trying everything they can to make it better. So then we get introduced to Christu. He is a medium, and obviously he could talk to dead people and stuff like that. So, what happens is he's saying he hears the name Peterson, I believe, and he meets this guy right here. I believe his name is Bob. If I'm wrong, I'll correct it. But Bob is saying, like, no, my wife's name is Peterson, it's not. And, basically Christy was wrong about the whole thing. Well, during this segment, he walks up, gets a different, sense. So he's saying, does anybody have anybody in their family named Edmund? And he goes over to these two ladies, and they say they had a son named Edmund, and he passed because of suicide. And he was telling them, he wants you guys to know he's not in any pain, he's not suffering, and he's good. He's at peace now. So, continuing on from that, he starts getting this, obviously he starts doing his medium thing again, and he's rubbing his head, and then he starts screaming Minnie, and he's going really crazy with this. So after that, obviously they go to break, and they come back and they bring this guy on. This guy is Carmichael Haig. He is a skeptic, and he loves to prove everybody wrong. He's so confident that he's right that he carries around, I believe it's an $1,000 check in his pocket, so that if somebody actually proves him right, he will write the check and give it to them. So, after that, we get introduced to Dr. June and Lily. These are obviously the two main stars of the show. And this is where shit starts getting weird. So this girl, Lily, she is possessed by this demon she likes to call Mr. Wriggles. And you can tell that when she comes on the show that she's acting very weird. And my thought was that the demon was in control the whole time. So, we go backstage on a commercial break, and we're told that Christy dies. Because when Carmichael Haig was on, he was making Christy really mad, and Christy was coughing up, and then he eventually pukes black stuff on Carmichael Haig. So yeah, very, very interesting, and very crazy that he passed that same night. Now, they ask if they can make contact with the demon on the show. The doctor is hesitant, obviously so. I would not blame her for being hesitant. But she gives us a little bit of a backstory. This girl, Lily, right here, she was a part of this cult, and the leader burned down the house they were all in. I think she was 10 years old when it happened, and she was the only one to survive. So Dr. June right here, she took Lily into her custody, and yeah, that's just a little backstory on them. So eventually, she does make contact with the demon, and a bunch of weird stuff happens, like her face morphs and stuff like that. And then the demon looks over to Jack, and he says, it's been a while since I've seen you out by the big pine trees or something. And we're stuck sitting there wondering this about the whole movie, what is this demon talking about? So yeah, continuing on, they finally get the girl back, and obviously you think she's back. Honestly, I think the demon was in control of the whole movie. I don't think the girl was ever there. So yeah, they say she's back, but I don't think she really is. Now, obviously, Carmichael Haig thinks this is all just a big ruse, and he's like, alright, fine. I'm going to show you guys that this is all just a big ruse. She hypnotized you all. Let's start. So, he takes Gus, and he says, alright, I need you to come with me, and I'm going to prove to everybody that this was all just fake. He takes his watch, and he hypnotizes Gus, and as you're watching, he says to Gus, he's like, man, your neck is awfully rashy. And you could see there is a big rash on his neck. And then he says to Gus, he goes, and it looks like there's a cut on your neck. And Gus goes, well, yeah, I nicked myself while shaving earlier. So Gus goes to scratch the cut. And Carmichael Haig brings up worms, how Gus hates worms. So then Gus goes and scratches the cut, and worms start coming out. And then he rips open his shirt, and he tears open his belly, and worms are coming out too. But then Carmichael Haig, he snaps his fingers, and it's all just a big ruse. So he was right there. So what happens is that they go back and they rewatch the tape of what Carmichael Haig did, and all you see is just Gus acting crazy. The worms never happened. His body ripping over never happened. He hypnotized the whole studio. So what happens is Jack says, all right, we should go back and we should see what can happen. So what they do is obviously Carmichael Haig does not believe that the demonic possession is real. So what they do is they go back and they rewatch the tape of Dr. June and Lily. And what's very weird is that all of the scars and everything were on the girl's face. And Jack says, all right, we need to stop. Like, pause it. And at the beginning of the movie, we learn that Jack has a wife. She sadly passed away of cancer. But during the girl's interview where she was possessed, it shows that his wife was standing behind him. So he's like, okay, this is so weird. Like, obviously, yours was fake, Carmichael, but this is real. So the girl starts going very, very crazy, and her head splits open. And this scene is very, very insane. It's just very crazy. And, like, lasers are coming out of her head. She kills Gus. She kills Dr. June. And she kills Carmichael Haig. So, yeah, she kills all three of those guys. And everybody in the studio that was in the audience runs out and they leave. So, it's very weird because then it goes black. It goes, like, all staticky and black. And then we see Jack walking back into a new video, like a new show. It's very, very weird. And, you know, everybody's back alive, and a bunch of weird stuff starts happening. Like, he's redoing segments from old shows. All the people that died are back. And he's sitting there, and he starts yelling at the at the TV. He's like, you guys need to turn your TVs off now. Turn your TV sets off. Something's happening. And it's just all very, very weird. Now, after that happens, he sees his wife, and his wife says to him, she says something around the lines of, you don't remember, you sold your soul to them many years ago, your soul is theirs. So she starts coughing, and she's saying how much she hurts, and there's this little dagger, and it looks kind of like the Kandarian dagger from the Evil Dead. And she says, you know, the only way to end this is to kill me. So he doesn't want to, obviously. He hesitates because he thinks it's his wife. Well, she starts crying and she says, please do it. So eventually he does. But then we switch back and he is stabbing Lily, the girl that was possessed by the demon. So yeah, very, very crazy. This was one of the best movies I've seen this year. Definitely going to be in my top 5 movies of this year. And yeah, I would love to know what you guys thought about this movie. Like I said, I give A Late Night with the Devil 10 out of 10. It is awesome. It is very, very great. And it meets all the marks that I wanted it to meet. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this movie down in the comments below. As always, you guys, stay groovy, stay safe, keep your people safe. Remember, God is good all the time. It has been Justin, and I'm out. Peace.